Today we'll study the C programming, and which is one of the chapter of computer application subject as per the SCT UBT syllabus. Okay, so let's start with introduction to C programming. Right. So first of all, so what is C? So C is a procedural high-level programming language developed by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratories of AT&T, New Jersey, USA in 1972. Right. So AT&T. So AT&T means American Telephone and Telegraph Companies. Right. So Dennis Ritchie named the programming language as C because many of its features were derived from an earlier language called B, and B language is in fact developed by Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson in 1969. And you may know that both Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson, they were AT&T employees, and they were assigned a project that is Unix operating system. They were developing Unix operating system, and for that purpose they have developed the B language, and later on Dennis Ritchie developed C language. Right. And you can see that B language, the many features of B language was developed from an earlier language that is called BCPL, Basic Combined Programming Language, which was developed by Martin Richards in 1967. And this Martin Richards is from Oxford University, assistant professor of Oxford University. So तुम लोग को पता चल गया होगा सी लैंग्वेज का पर्पस क्या है, राइट. सो मेनली उसको उस टाइम में बना गया था कि यूनिक्स ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम्स का टूल्स, सॉफ्टवेयर टूल्स बनाने के लिए, राइट. यूटिलिटीज, सॉफ्टवेयर टूल्स, यूटिलिटीज बनाने के लिए. ओके. सो व्हाई देन, व्हाट इज द अचीवमेंट ऑफ सी? व्हाट इज द अचीवमेंट ऑफ सी? व्हाई सी इज so much popular? Because of its unique application, right? So C was initially developed to construct utilities programs running on Unix operating systems, right? Unix operating system, which was introduced by AT&T in 1969. So it was so originally it was developed to C was developed to construct utilities of Unix operating system. Later on, C was again used to re-implement the kernel of the Unix operating system. You know what is the kernel of the Unix? Kernel of any operating system. So kernel is nothing but it is the heart of the operating systems. It is the main programs, heart of the operating system, right? It is called the heart of the operating system, kernel. So C was used to re-implement the kernel of the Unix operating systems. So now later on, the software tools, device drivers programs, C compiler. Okay, C compiler in major parts of the operating system like Windows, Unix, Linux are still written on C. Although C is one of the oldest programming languages, still the operating systems, many parts of operating systems are designed using C language, right? So this is because even today, when it comes to the performance or speed of execution, so C is best. Nothing beats C, right? And C has been superseded by some programming language like C++, C has Java. So all these programming languages, all the many concept of this programming language, they were derived from C language. So their parents is C language, right? So you can see now what is the importance of C, right? Still we people, the programmers, they depends on C to design their efficient operating systems, or any other software tools, device drivers, even the C compiler. We can see later on study what is the compiler. Even the C compiler, this is designed on C language, C or C++, right? So next we will go. So C slowly gain popularity at 1980s. So there comes to the standardization of C. So unless and until a language is standardized, how can the whole world, how can the entire globe will learn or utilize it? So that's why the standardization comes. So first it was standardized by the national standardization, that is, since C was developed in America, so it was standardized by American National Standard Institute. American National Standard Institute, or shortly we can, it is called ANSI, ANSI, American National Standard Institute, in 1989. Like, and this standard version of C language is commonly referred to as ANSI C or C89, right? So it is a national standardizations in their country. So later on, the global standardizations comes, and the international organization of standard, it is the international body of standardization organizations. So in 1990, the ANSI standard was adopted by International Organization for Standardization as ISO IEC 98991990, right? And this version of C language is called C19. This is called C19, right? So ISO adopted the ANSI standard as ISO IEC 9899:1990, and this is called C90. So you can see that C90 and C89, so both are same, right? And later on उसके बाद क्या आया, C99, और एक standardization है C99. जस्ट थोड़ा सा पढ़ लेंगे. So in 2000, ANSI adopted their organization ANSI adopted C as ISO IEC 9899:1990, and this standard is also commonly referred to as C99. So later on, some syntax modification took place, some grammar modification took place, and the standardization was modified again by International Organization of Standardization as ISO IEC 9899:2011. So in 2011, it was modified again, reintroduced again. So this version is commonly referred to as C11, and the latest standardization is C18, which was adopted by ISO IEC 9899, which was adopted by International Organization of Standardization as ISO IEC 9899:2018. So 2018 में कुछ मॉडिफिकेशन हुआ, या ग्रामर का, सिंटैक्स का, जो भी पहले ड्रॉबैक्स था उसको, ड्रॉबैक्स को मॉडिफाई हुआ एवं उसको इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फिर उसको इंट्रोड्यूस किया, मॉडिफाई किया एज ISO IEC 9899:2018, and this version of C language is known as C18, and C18 is the recent standard for the C programming language, right? So these are nothing but the different standardization of C language, and one has to know before learning about the C language, right? So next we will see what is a computer language, right? So, and you have already know the C is a procedural high level programming language. So then we have to know what is a language, then you will know what is computer language, right? So language, one can understood the different language, different regions people they are speaking different language, like Odisha people they are speaking Odia, that West Bengal people they are speaking Bengali, Andhra Pradesh people they are speaking Telugu, and Kerala people they are speaking Malayalam, Chennai people Tamil, UP people Hindi, Jharkhand people Hindi, right? So these are the different languages. And a language, what is a language? A language is a process or is a method of communication. It is a method of exchanging information. So language is a process of exchanging information, ideas, thought between the persons. We can say that it is a method of communication. It is a process of communications between the persons, between the individuals, right? So the language is used by the different peoples for the communications purpose. The next we'll see the computer language. So computer language is that language through which we can interact with computers, because computer is a machine, and since it is an intelligent machine, so it needs a language. So the computer language means these are the language by which one can interact with the computers. कंप्यूटर के साथ कुछ बातचीत करने के लिए, कुछ काम करवाने के लिए, कंप्यूटर को इंस्ट्रक्शन देने के लिए कंप्यूटर लैंग्वेज जानना जरूरी. So these are the computer language. So this computer language, or we can say these are the programming language, and these are classified into three types. So what are these? So first of all, this is the machine language or machine level language, and second one is assembly level language or assembly language, and the third one is high level language. So let's will one by one we'll just know what is the machine level language. And you know the computer is a machine and it is an electronic machine, right? So, and you must remember that computer only understood the one language, and that is machine language. Computer only understood that machine language or machine level language. So what is machine level language? So machine language means the machine level language or machine language, or it is a binary language. We can say machine language is nothing but, right, machine language is nothing but it is a binary language. So computer only understood binary language, right? Machine language or binary language. Binary language. So what is binary? Binary language means it can be represented by either 0 or 1. Binary means 2. Binary means 2, and it can be represented by either 0 or 1. With mathematical symbol you can represent either 0 or 1. So anything represented either in 0 or 1, this is known as binary. So computer only understood the binary language. If in a logic, digital logic, you can represent this binary language, logic means either true or false, right? 1 you can represent true, 0 you can represent false. And in this binary logic can be represented by electrical signal, right? If 0 represents low voltage, either low voltage or high voltage, 0 represents low voltage, then 1 represents high voltage. So in this way one can represent the binary language. So but normally we will remember 0 and 1. And this is the language, this is the only language which is directly understood by the computers. So no intermediary translator or compiler is required. So we'll later know what is the compiler or any other translator. So I think you have already understood what is the machine level language. So next we'll learn what is assembly language or assembly level language. So assembly level language used, it is represented by symbol or mnemonics, right? So one word, it is represented by using mnemonics. This is the spelling mnemonics, P-N-E-M-O-N-I-C. So assembly level language are represented using mnemonics. So what is the mnemonics exactly? So mnemonics is nothing, it is nothing but a symbol or abbreviation. It is nothing but a symbol or abbreviation, symbol, or we can say abbreviation, A-B-B-I-V-I-A. It is nothing, mnemonics is nothing but a symbol or abbreviation of a word. Like we can give example like add for additions, like add for additions. So for addition we can use small word, symbol word, or short word. Abbreviation means short words, that is ADD, add. So this is mnemonics, right? So sub, for we can say that subtractions, right? Subtraction. For subtraction we can use symbol or abbreviation, that is sub. So assembly language use this type of words, short words or symbol. But in machine code you have to represent everything, every instruction, every words, every digits, every data in the binary forms. In fact, this sub or add you can represent in the binary codes, so that the machine language can understand so that it can be understood by the compiler. So assembly language use symbol or mnemonics, but this symbol or mnemonics also does not, the computer cannot understood these symbols or mnemonics. This assembly language cannot be understood by the computer directly, right? So what can we do? So we will pass through one software that is called assembler. Name is assembler, or we can call it another way, that is a translator, which convert. So assembler is a system software which translate assembly language into machine language, translate assembly language into machine language, so that the assembly language can be understood by the machine or computers. So here we need the assembler, right? So next we will see the high level language, and our C program lies in this category, that is high level language. So high level language are looking like English like languages. These are nothing but a normal English like languages, right? Means this use English word. Most of in the programming language they use the English word. So English like languages. Again, this language is, the computer cannot understood the high level language directly, and you know the computer can only understood the machine language. So what can be done? So this can be again passed through another software or a machine, and we call this software as compiler. So okay, compiler, or another machine is interpreters. This is okay, this is I. Compiler or interpreters. So compiler or interpreters, they can translate the high level language into machine level language, so that the computer can understood. So computer can understand this machine level language. So we need compiler or interpreter. So compiler or interpreter is nothing but it is a system software which translates the high level language into machine level language, right? So C language, although we will learn the C language in the high level language, its syntax is different, but at the end of the day we have to, after writing the C language, after composing the C language, we have to compile it, and so that we can find any errors. Compiler, it will check bit by bits. The compiler and the difference between two software, that is a compiler and interpreters. The compiler, what the compiler do, the compiler will read the entire program at a time and check if there is any syntactic error or grammatical errors. So if there is an error, it highlighted the error and asked for any modifications, and if there is no error, it convert the entire program to machine language at a time. So on the other hand, what the interpreter do, the interpreter will read one line at a time. If you have composed the entire programs, but it will read one line at a time and check for if there is any error or not. If there is no error, then it converts the high level language of that particular language into machine level language. So it converts one by one. This means interpreter is quite slow as compared to compilers. Okay, so I think you have understood the three category of language: machine level language, assembly level language, and high level language. And our C, C++, whatever the modern programming language, Java, C#, all are coming into this category. All modern languages are coming into the category of high level language, right? Python, Scholar. And for that we have to after writing or composing the programs, we have to compile it. So different compilers are available in the market. So this is just what is the compilation and translation process, and this is an importance. This is very, very important for any high level programming language, because otherwise the high level programming language will not understood by the computer, right? So for that purpose we have to compile it. So first of all, what is the main first procedure? Write or compose a program. We have to write programs. Whatever we are running now, we are learning C programs. So after learning the C programs, we have to write. So where you can write, कहाँ हम लोग लिख सकते हैं? जैसे कि हम लोग कोई लेटर या एप्लीकेशंस लिखने के लिए कुछ पेपर चाहिए, तो वैसे ही कंप्यूटर में अगर ये प्रोग्राम्स को लिखने के लिए हम लोग कंप्यूटर में हाउ वी कैन राइट द प्रोग्राम्स यूजिंग द टेक्स्ट एडिटर, लाइक दिस इज नॉर्मल लाइक से टेक्स्ट. सो वी नीड ए टेक्स्ट एडिटर, we need a editor or is text editor. So normally it is a common text editor in the Windows operating systems, and you know that is a Notepad. Notepad is very common common software or text editor in Windows operating system. Notepad or Notepad++, nowadays it is advanced version, Notepad++, and it is inbuilt in every Windows operating system. You can find the Notepad, right? Or IDE. So here we can write opening the Notepad and we can write the programs, or we can write the programs using IDE. So what is IDE? So IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. Full form is integrated development environment. Full form is integrated development environment. That means it contains not only it provides not only the editors or user interface for editing or composing the programs, but also it provide with compiler. So compiler is inbuilt in IDE. So compiler, it contains compiler, editor, then linker, right? These are the software associated with the IDE, debugger, like. So IDE contains all these things: editor, compiler, linker. So you can just download this IDE, see IDE, what are the IDE supported C language. You can download it, and through IDE you can compose or write a C programs. Like, so commonly IDEs are code blocks. These are IDE code blocks, Visual Studio Code, right? Eclipse. So many IDEs are there, and you can find which is convenient to you. And this IDE, this is the latest IDE which supports GCC compilers, right? And after writing or composing the programs, we'll save the program as .c extension. You know how the file extension, right? Like notepad files are saved as, by default it is .txt. Notepad files are saved as by default .txt. These are the extension. And if it is a MS Word file, you can save it extension .doc or docx, right? Image file JPG, you can save with extension JPG. So these are different file extension. So C program is saved as a file extension, that is .c. .c means the computer will understand it is a C file. You can save it in the C file. So once it is saved, and we can call this as a source file, source code. Once your compilation complete means we will call this program as a source code. And this cannot be understood by the computer directly, so we need to compile, like through compiler. So compilation, that is called compilation, means compilation by compiler, right? Then compilation can be done by the compiler. So I have told you what is a compiler. So it is a software, it is a system software which translates high level language programs into machine level language programs, or in short we call machine code. So different compilers are available, and these are all are open source compilers. You can find on the surfing the net. So GCC compiler, so latest C18 standardization is supported by the compiler GCC compiler, CLang, Intel C++, Trinity. Okay, so and one can also compile the C program using the old version of C compiler, that is Turbo C, C++, Dev C. So these are the compiler, and these are also editors. Turbo C is the compiler, editors, Dev C. So we'll so once compilation is complete, we can source code when compiled, it is converted into machine codes or machine language. So normally in Windows the machine codes are saved with .exe extension, executable codes. Machine codes are saved in .exe. This is the extension, like, so .exe, this is the extension, .c extension. So once it is converted into machine codes, and we can run this machine code to get the desired result. ठीक जो जिसके लिए हम लोग प्रोग्राम बनाए थे, वंस कंपाइल करने के बाद वो कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा मशीन कोड को. सो मशीन कोड को रन करने के बाद हम लोग जिस पर्पस के लिए प्रोग्राम बनाए थे उस पर्पस को हम डिजायर्ड आउटपुट पा सकेंगे. लाइक दिस इज जस्ट ए compilation process, or writing a program, where to write a programs and then compile it. Okay, so this is all about just in introductions. So thank you all.